All right, I'm gonna start with a disclaimer because I have to start with a disclaimer now. Every time I do something, as trigger warning, all this other stuff. I'm not here to argue that nothing should ever be censored. I'm here to talk about how sterilized language is to the point where I feel like I've severed the teeth of language we all have. Language used to have texture. Now it has a terms and service. It's insane. We've become afraid of our own vocabulary. Meaning, in all capacities, has been filtered through algorithms and HR departments and 30-second TikTok apologies. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm Colleen Ballinger. That's what's happened. And in the effect of making everything safe, we've made nothing clear. That's what happened. Don't know if I'll make a separate video for the specific thing, but when you type a sentence and put /J or /S, the little slashes to indicate, oh, I'm joking, I'm serious, NM, never mind, and all this other stuff, you've neutered so much of the nuance of online discussion. I don't need those things to know that you're joking. I don't. I really don't. You could improve your language as you type because it's easy. I've read books my entire life, and in no instance have I questioned, was he satirical when he wrote that? You could just improve your writing. I feel as though we have sanitized language so much that we don't fire people anymore. We transition them. Transitioning, you've promoted to being a customer, which is this is just funny to say. If you get fired, you've been promoted to being a customer. We don't cause war casualties. We have collateral damage. We don't lie anymore. We misspeak. This isn't evolution. This is evasion. All it is. Language in itself has become PR. That's all it's become. Language has become PR. Words are supposed to clarify, but euphemisms twist clarity into a fog. That's what's happening. We're using euphemisms. We've replaced honest, sharp terms with soft, vague ones that feel nice in your mouth and say nothing to your brain. That is what's happened. And the more we pad our language to avoid discomfort, the less we can talk about anything real. We cannot protect injustice if you're not allowed to name it directly. You can't critique behavior if the language to describe them has been rounded down to avoid offense. You can't do that. You certainly can't grow if your vocabulary is wrapped in bubble wrap and locked in a safe. You can't possibly get beyond these things. You can't possibly do that. That's not how the real world works. That is not how things operate. Did you know that you can threaten people online? Did you know that? I don't know if you know that. You can actually threaten people online. Our president has threatened hundreds of people. But if you joke about it, it gets flagged. If you joke, because a joke gets flagged faster than a veiled threat. Sarcasm will get you banned. Misinformation, that just gets a warning. This is just a genuine warning. Why? Because tone is easier to program against than content. Tone, your tone, the way you speak. If I said, hey guys, I'm going to actively do something very violent, the tone of what I said it, okay, yeah. AI can't read context. It's just as simple as that. AI cannot read context. If it sees the word KILL, which I'm not going to say because I know YouTube is using a auto AI moderator, it will ban the post. But it lets propaganda slide. All propaganda, as long as it's polite. You can say monstrous things in a calm voice and you're fine. Oh my God. Evil, just vitriolic thing. As long as you're calm, perfectly fine. But if you say something angry with resentment, oh my God, it's over. But say something true with heat in your tone. Just fire, Miami. And you're suddenly violating community standards. Hold on now, you can't really do that. It's not just censorship. It's an aesthetic filter. I had to think of a word. An aesthetic filter. We're not regulating harm. We're regulating tone. Language has to be palatable now. Smooth, marketable, digestible. So instead of resisting awareness, I want to say resist, that doesn't make any sense. So instead of raising awareness, people raise their pitch. Say it softer. Say it sweeter. Say it in a way that gets you likes, but doesn't get you banned. Hey guys, I think things are really bad right now in the world. Capitalism is super not nice, and I'm not having a fun time. Now, usually I wouldn't naturally be having a fun time with capitalism, but oh, I'm sorry, I need money to actually live and exist, and I'm on the edge of my seat, kind of like a really fun film or a movie. I love movies, by the way. You guys should check out this new movie. It's really fun. I'm sponsored, by the way. That's what you have to do. A big reason why I never get sponsors is because I don't filter myself. I barely filter myself, ever so barely. I will say things just enough to be able to get me not demonetized, but I don't get sponsors because they are horrified of me. Fair, though. That's honestly fair. I remember the term safe space. You guys remember safe space? Oh, I missed that. Back when things used to be a safe space. Safe space used to mean refuge. Refuge from everything. A safe space, no matter how crazy it was. It was a safe space. Now, it means silencing disagreement under the banner of protection. That's what it means. I bring this up all the time, and I say it in so many videos. I said it probably 20 times over. If you say SW in real life, what are you doing? I don't know what SA in real life. What are you doing? If you say SA, what are you doing? If you say that's the R word, listen, some things do need to be called out. Harassment is real. Hate is real. But what we're seeing now is the expansion of censorship into ideological policing. That's what's going on. Where safety means never being challenged. Where disagreement is labeled as violence. Where offense becomes an act of aggression. You can't build resilience in a soundproof box. Language isn't always going to be safe because the truth isn't always polite. And protecting people from every uncomfortable phrase doesn't make them stronger. It makes them fragile because they don't know how to deal with resilience. They don't gain resilience. They don't gain that. You need to be able to take these things on the chest. That's what you got to do. Society, people, has started to rank morality by how nicely you speak. Not what you mean, not what you do, just how you phrase it. I say some horribly evil things a lot of the time, but I'm funny, so people let me get away with it, and I don't know why. People can manipulate, deceive, and exploit others. So long as you lace it with please and thank you, you're fine. Meanwhile, someone who speaks directly, bluntly, emotionally, urgently is treated as dangerous. There are a lot of people who say the exact same things that I do, but because I'm speaking in a more direct tone, people listen to me more. Why is that? Because language has become a costume. You can be a monster in a suit and a hero in sweatpants, but only one of these things is going to get deplatformed. You shouldn't be wearing sweatpants. We are training people to ooh, my cord. That was crazy. Oh, you hate to see it. I'm not even taking that out. Just know that I hit my cord because I move my arms too much. We are training people to prioritize sound over sense. And when that happens, language stops being about truth. It becomes about performance. It's a performance. We are performing for we're just, oh, this is so cool. This is so great. I'm doing so much fun performance. This is stupid. Satire. Recently, South Park released the episode about Donald Trump. Pure satire. Really good. Make an episode about Charlie Kirk. That's good. By the time this video comes out, there's probably going to be much more. Satire survives on risk, on tension, on saying the unsayable in a way that reveals the absurd. That's satire. But in an environment where algorithms don't understand jokes, satire becomes, can't do it. Comedians can't punch up because they're flagged. They can't punch down because they're canceled. They can't punch sideways because no one knows what that means. And I know a lot of people say, well, comedy's not dying. There are great comedians. There are great comedians that do. Yeah, there are good comedians who get away with it. My favorite comedian is Shane Gillis. He does not care. He says whatever he feels like. And I like him because he doesn't care. I like Dave Chappelle. Sue me. You can't like Dave Chappelle? Shut up. Don't ever police my opinions. Don't ever do that. Ever. Don't. If you ever, I will ban you. That's right. I'm using the tools you want to use against me. I will ban you. You will never see me in your entire life. You can leave. You can leave. Never police my opinions. Never. You can disagree with them deeply, but if you tell me I shouldn't do something because I enjoy it, no, I'm going to do it because it's not harming anybody. It's fun, but it harms certain. Shut up. Just leave. Just get out. I'm not here for you. You know what comedians do now? They punch themselves. That's right. Hoping to be seen as one of the good ones. Oh, this community, I love self-deprecating humor because it reminds me that he's attacking himself. He's not attacking anybody else but himself because he knows himself, and it's really funny. That's so trife. Where's Jester's privilege at? I'm going to do a whole video about Jester's privilege, so I'll get to that later. Anyways, the sacred art that has been gone of making people uncomfortably laugh is dying. We are watching a genre suffocate in real time because its tools, irony, exaggeration, subversion, don't survive in a world that takes everything literally and punishes everything equally. You are not even children, because children would understand this. I don't even have a word. Nimrods. Nope. Nimrod was actually smart. That is actually an issue. Nimrod was actually a smart guy. I don't even know why Nimrod was a thing. That's a little bit of a fun fact for you. Nimrod was not an idiot. Neanderthals. Not even sure if I should use Neanderthal. See how I'm policing my own language? That's an example of how I just police my own language when I want to call you guys idiots. That's what I want to do. So yeah, I think the most horrifying thing for me is how deeply this has all been internalized. People now censor themselves before anyone else has to. Out of pure fear, no thoughtfulness, just fear. You pre-censor yourself. You don't want to be misunderstood. I don't want to be clipped out of context because the people only watch 20-second clips. Yeah, because people are stupid. Anyways, of being told you're problematic before you can finish the sentence. I'm married, and I had a conversation with my lover last night in the shower when we were taking a shower, and they had told me they are horrified of being perceived as racist. And I said, why? And they said, because I'm not racist. And usually you'd say, well, if you're not racist, you wouldn't have to worry about being racist. It's being perceived as racist. When I speak in a more lax tone, people assume that I'm speaking Caucasian. A lot of videos, a lot of people say, oh, I didn't even know a black guy was speaking. I've been watching your videos. Didn't know you were black. Haha, pretty fun. That's because I don't speak with what is commonly referred to as a black accent. I don't speak in a way, in a vernacular that perhaps accentuates my voice in a way that's trained in a way that make people think that I speak black. That's the issue right there. You know what I'm saying? That's really what people think. They want to see me speak in a black accent. A subtle shift. Ugh. I burped. That was crazy. They assume that because I speak with higher cadence or because I sound poetic with my vernacular, they assume that, oh, I'm speaking white. That is a big issue. My wife does not speak black. She doesn't enunciate a lot of her words, and that causes her to slur her words in her speech and bring in muscle words together because she doesn't want to put the effort into speaking a lot of the time. And people have framed that as a black accent, which is very disrespectful, by the way. It's insane. We have trained an entire generation to pre-edit every word in their head until it all comes out as safe noise. It's like trying to express love while defusing a bomb. No wonder no one knows how to connect anymore. Because we don't know how to communicate. The internet didn't just, kill communication. We drowned it in qualifiers and apologies and watered down vocabulary until it stopped sounding human. Until it stopped sounding as if it were us speaking. You all sound like robots. You realize that now? Anger, my favorite emotion, used to be a political tool, a moral reaction. Now, anger is just rude. I'm touching my own buttocks, and I am so thick. Sorry. Anyways, We've removed entire layers of language around anger. We've replaced them with things such as concern. I wish I could do a scrolling walk while I speak, as if I'm speaking to a stage audience. God, I wish I could do that. I gotta get like a walking thing or something. I gotta figure this out. I'll figure it out eventually. People don't rage anymore. They raise awareness. People don't protest. They issue a formal response. What used to be fuel now feels like a liability. But anger, oh, real, articulate anger, the kind that I deliver all the time, is necessary. It draws lines. It creates pressures. It's what makes language urgent. When you can't say, "I'm furious," without being told to calm down, you lose a part of your voice. And slowly people forget how to speak in their own defense. It's important to feel the entire range of human emotions and to express them deeply. That is what it is supposed to be. But we've taken that away. It feels limiting. We've created a culture where only pain gives you permission to speak. You want to weigh in on something? Well, you better have a diagnosis. You better have suffered. You better preface. Is it preface or preface? Preface. You better preface every sentence with your trauma credentials. Or someone will ask if you're allowed to have an opinion. You can have an opinion about anything you feel like. Did you know that? Are you aware that you can have an opinion about literally anything, regardless of even directly close to affects you? You can have an opinion about everything. I keep hearing people say, "Oh, well, I don't know if I should speak on this because I'm not that." You can talk. You can speak about anything you want to. You don't have to be gatekept. The idea that you can't engage in certain topics unless you're suffering is stupid. It's really, really dumb. Language has no longer become the bridge that I thought it was. It's a checkpoint. And that means fewer conversations, less curiosity, and more fear. It's really, really, really strange. Deeply strange. My greatest fear is that censorship has now been gone deeply in the classroom. It's in classrooms now. And it's not just the banning of books such as 1984 or Fahrenheit 451. It's by sanitizing the books as well. Teachers are forced to water down different subjects. History has become vague timelines. I remember the first example of when this happened. It was when indentured servitude instead of slavery. That's what it was. Literature is being given trigger warnings. Students walk out with diplomas and have no idea how to handle real-world conflicts because they were never allowed to encounter it safely on the page. History, literature, language, art is not supposed to make you feel comfortable. Education isn't supposed to feel comfortable. It's supposed to challenge you. But now challenge is confused with harm, and discomfort is treated like danger. To grow as a human being, to any situation, you have to be uncomfortable to grow. That is very important to the human condition. If you are not uncomfortable, you cannot grow. That is baseline of everything. I had assumed that the biggest censors in my life would be the government. I assumed so many things saying, "Oh, the government's bad. The Chinese Communist Party is really bad. The CCP is horrible." But I've discovered that the algorithms dictate what the governments actually do now. And algorithms, they don't understand meaning. They understand patterns. They don't care if what you said was insightful. They don't care if it was anything. They just care if it can be monetized, if advertisers like it. They don't even ask if you were being honest. What was the engagement rate? That's the important part. We've outsourced our language ethics to machines. And those machines are designed to avoid liability, not encourage dialogue. The result of all this? The most important conversations are quietly buried. And you know what gets pushed up? Mr. Beast videos. That's what happens. It's stupid. We're not protecting language, we're suffocating it. We've confused safety with sterility. Is that the word? Sterile. The word like I'm it's making things sterile. That's the word I'm looking for. We've confused politeness with morality and censorship with virtue. Language is supposed to evolve, not devolve. It's supposed to grow, not hollow out. And if we keep trading authenticity for safety, truth for optics, connection for performance, we're going to forget how to mean what we say. Let people speak. Let people be messy. Let discomfort happen. Because if we lose our ability to say things that matter, we won't just lose freedom, we'll lose ourselves. I need you to ask a teenager how they feel. Just ask a teenager how they feel. You know what they'll say? I'm emotionally regulated, but contextually overwhelmed in a post apocalyptic, capitalistic, emotional, existential haze. Bro, do you mean sad? Just say sad. We train people to talk like they're trying to impress a therapist they haven't even met yet. You can just say sad. Everyone's afraid of sounding dumb or problematic or to anything at this point. So they just inflate the language and until it floats away from meaning entirely. It's not speech anymore. It's, oh, what's a good way to phrase this? Verbal taxidermy. That's what I'm looking for. That's great. It looks like communication, smells like communication, but try to touch it and it crumbles. It just crumbles. We created a society where having an opinion is like handling uranium. You're handed it with tongs, wrapped in disclaimers. This could radiate you, soaked in trigger warnings. Oh, this is bad, and it's followed by a link to your apology video, just in case. That's what language has done. Oh my God. God help you if you're funny about it. Oh, if you're funny, you lose even worse. Jokes in general have become just deep criminal offenses. Does he mean this literally? Does he mean this literally? It's when a pun has been considered a microaggression, life is bad. You can actively be canceled for a clever metaphor. One day someone's gonna write a eulogy, right? An iambic pentameter, right? That's what they're gonna do, and still get ratioed on Twitter. That's what's gonna happen. We've entered an era where satire needs subtitles and sarcasm gets fact checked. Why are you fact checking sarcasm? You can't even say "I'm dying" in the group chat without someone messaging you outside of it and saying, "Hey, I know you joke when you're sad. Is there something going on?" All right, so I need you to back up a little bit. You know what's crazy? I was watching a video of a dog opening a fridge, and I was giggling like a maniac. That's what I was doing. I was just giggling, and I said, "I'm dead," and they said, "No, you're not." All right, let me have this, please. Just please let me have this. And I already know someone's gonna comment and say, "But autistic people take things literally." I keep it a stack with you. I know that. I know that. And you can also learn context, right? You're not immune to learning context. You are not immune to it. It's harder, but you're not immune to it. Every brain is different, obviously. Autism is a spectrum. I know you're gonna police me on this garbage, and I gotta be very specific with people. But you can learn context. I'm just gonna keep it a stack with you. You can learn context. You ever seen the verbal edging on Reels or TikTok or YouTube Shorts where someone says, "I'm not allowed to say this, but all right." Okay. Constantly prefacing your sentences is preface. I looked it up. Constantly prefacing your sentences with warnings, apologies, disclaimers, moral context, footnotes, and trigger warnings before finally landing on a sentence. And then you'll say something I think pineapple on pizza is kind of mid. Because you don't want to offend the wrong group. Oh my God. I do it too. That's the worst part. I've begun to do it now as well. Just with that little autism rant. I've done the same thing because people misinterpret so deeply. As if it's a Olympic sport to misinterpret just to find something to get mad at me about. Disgusting. Like that's a controversial opinion to share. It's pineapple on pizza. That's what you were trembling to share? At this rate, we'll be handing out NDAs before saying good morning. That's what's gonna happen. Language is devolving so bad. It's being held hostage by the fear of being perceived incorrectly by a group of 12-year-olds on TikToks. Like, and their usernames are like Shark Vegan 420. That's their name. That's what they have. That's you're mad at Shark Vegan 420. That's what you're mad at. You're mad at that person. Okay. All right. Emojis. Emojis aren't safe anymore. I feel like a boomer. Emojis aren't safe. You can't even send a skull emoji without someone misreading it. Did you mean you're laughing, dying inside, calling someone ugly, having an existential breakdown, asking for attention, flirting? Are you threatening nuclear war? No one knows. Nuance is dead. I hate this so much. It's just a jungle. It's just a jungle of garbage. I hate this. I have to decode everything now because people want to tone police me so deeply. And don't, oh my God, don't even get me started on tone indicators. Oh my God, /J for joke, /S for sarcasm, /H, or sorry, the LH for lighthearted. We've created a whole second language just to explain the first one because we've become so scared of being misunderstood that we're now writing our dialogue like we're subtitling a YouTube rewind. That it's what's the results of all this, right? People are so much more disconnected than ever. Even though they're constantly talking, we are constantly having conversation, but we don't understand each other. We got thousands of words, dozens of apps, infinite keystrokes and keyboards, yet fewer real connection. Everything is triple filtered, algorithm friendly, and morally optimized, just oatmeal. There's no flavor anymore. Just beige sentences with no emotional calories. We didn't just censor our language, we censored the soul that used to come with it. And now we're all stuck here trying to scream into the void. Our mouths are duct taped shut. I want to ask you, was this always going to be the final result? Is it fun to misinterpret people? Is it fun to just actively do this? I'm not sure if people are rage baiting or telling the truth. I'm not sure what they're doing. I really don't. You say so much. People say so much and say nothing all at once. It is so sad. And I have to somehow dumb down my very colorful vocabulary to garbage and gobbledygook. If you ever meet me in person, ever, you will realize that I am limiting so much of what I'm saying on this platform simply by virtue of you guys are not smart enough. I just don't grasp it. And it's not everybody, because when I say you guys, that needs to be prefaced as well, because it's such a generalizing binary statement. It is such a overarching thing to say, you guys. I don't know. I mean, we speak, but do we say anything anymore, guys? Do we even say anything? Are we saying words? Anyways, I'm done ranting. Please, remember.
I'm your nigga night, be my Laurel Angelo. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free. So I'm your nigga night, be my Laurel Angelo. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free.